Hello everyone, Sai here with another PoE2 video. So you decided, like me, like all of us, to get into the early access of Path of Exile 2, which will start at December the 6th. And since we all need the key, or most of us anyways, you purchase the supporter pack for $30. And what you might not realize is that you also got these 300 coins. And those coins can be used in Path of Exile in the in-game shop. How do you get into the in-game shop? Well, you just press M. I hope that it will be the same key, but if not, you can also get there via options, input, and then you can scroll down until you find the Microtransaction Shop, and then you will press the key that will stand there. So let's have a look at the Microtransaction Shop. You can get like all kinds of microtransactions for your armor, for your weapons, and I suggest you actually don't spend them on those microtransactions, but you rather spend them on stash tabs, because stash tabs will increase your quality of life while playing Path of Exile by a ton. You could argue that Path of Exile is free to play, but if you really want to play it for hundreds of hours, then you kinda have to buy at least a few of those stash tabs to make it fun. In this video I want to tell you what kind of stash tabs I think are the best. Yeah, let's start. Currency stash tabs, I think this is one of the most important ones. It gives you a ton of space. Then there's the map stash tabs. We don't actually know how that... I think there will be a map stash tab in PoE2 too. Of course, now the maps are called waypoints. We will have to wait and see how this stash tab will look like and if you really need it or not. But I would definitely save up these 150 coins for if it's necessary, then you can buy it later. One other thing which is kinda mandatory if you want to play the game for longer is a premium stash tab, because otherwise you cannot sell items to other players. You need a premium tab in order to do this. There's also the option to upgrade one of your 4 standard tabs to a premium one, but I think it's better to just buy a premium stash tabs, because you will need some amount of tabs anyways, and that is a little bit cheaper than just upgrading one. Okay, so now I will go into a little bit more detail how you will manage your tabs and why I think those tabs are great. So when you are in town, there's always like a stash tab. This stash tab will hold all your stash tabs, kind of like in Diablo. You can also go to your hideout and there will also be your stash tabs. So what you will have is 4 normal stash tabs. You cannot change the name of these stash tabs, and you can also not make them public. Like in the premium stash tab, you can make it public. You can set prices on items or individually, and you can, as you can see, you can change the color, the name, anything. Shop, maybe you want to yellow. And then there are affinities. These affinities will sort the items for you. This is really cool. I recommend to do the currency stash tabs, so you will have affinity for currency here. So this is a currency item, this is a currency item. So normally this has no affinities. Normally if you control click an item, it will go to your stash tab that you have currently chosen. But if you have currency affinity for the currency stash tabs, you will see that those items went into this stash tab automatically. So what else you can do, you can still have the affinities in the standard stash tabs that you get for free from the installing the game. And I would recommend to do Delirium affinity, Fragment affinity, Ultimatum affinity, Essence affinity, Unique affinity, and Gem affinity. Blight won't exist. There might be another affinity in the game in Path of Exile 2 which will be Ritual. and or expedition. We don't know that yet. Then I would also set the affinities for those two mechanics, ritual and expedition. What that means is, again, we go to our first stash tab here, and this is an essence which has an affinity. As you can see, now it goes to this stash tab automatically, which is insane, very convenient. Yeah, I think those are the two stash tabs that I would buy at the beginning of the game. And then later, when you come to maps, like the end games with the waypoint system and the atlas, and you are overwhelmed, you can also set an affinity for maps. You could also do this. And if you see that this tab gets overwhelmed by the waypoints that you collect, then you might want to purchase the map stash tab. It's very convenient. It will sort the tiers of the waypoints, and you can also stack a bunch of waypoints, which you normally won't be able to. I hope that you can maybe also get tablets in this stash tab, but yeah, I don't know. We will see. If we don't need a map stash tab, then maybe a fragment stash tab will be nice, or a quad stash tab, which is just like a really big one, or since one of the mechanics in the early access will be essences, you could choose to get the essence stash tabs. But this is only necessary if you really want to farm a lot. With the currency stash tab, one premium stash tab, and the four stash tabs, you will be fine. You can play the game for 100 hours, it will be fine. One important thing about PoE in general, and I think it will be the same for PoE2, you kind of have to get into the mindset that you don't have to hoard items. You can hoard currency items, but normal items like these, you will always find more, and you can just vendor them for gold, honestly. Like, if you find an interesting item and maybe you want to craft on it later, you can put it in one of the stash tabs, but have the mindset of old gear is trash and just vendor it and then find other gear that is better. And same with uniques actually. Like there will be a ton of uniques in the game, like I don't know, hundreds they said, and most of them won't be very expensive to trade for. So you should price check the uniques that you find, and one easy way is to go to the trade website. I will just show you real quick. I can't show you it on PoE2 yet because it's not there yet, but I can show you how it works in PoE1, and it will work very, very similar in PoE2. So you go to this trade icon. As you can see, I also have the shortcut, which will open it directly. Then you will select the league, for example, softcore, and then you will search for an item, a unique, on the last. And then you can see, oh, it's one chaos. So maybe you think that's actually a good item, so you keep it. Or if it's like not worth anything, then you might just vendor it. And then if you need it, you can just buy it from trade. Okay, so to summarize my recommendation how to set up your stash tabs and what stash tabs to buy in the shop early on, I think getting the currency stash tabs is a very, very good idea. And if you want to trade early on, which I think is very fun, but you can, of course, decide that for yourself. Also get the premium stash tab early on. Or if you don't want to trade early on, wait until late game, until you finish the campaign. Then check if the waypoints start piling up in your stash tabs, and then buy the map stash tab and the premium stash tab once you want to trade with other people and sell your items. You can always buy items, but you cannot sell items if you don't have a premium stash tab. And for how to set up your stash tabs, I would go as the following. get your currency stash tab, make sure the affinity for currency is checked. Then the next 3 stash tabs will be your build stuff, crafting stuff, all that stuff. And then your final stash tab will be the one where you check all the affinities that are available in Path of Exile 2, and then click here. And as I said, set up your shop if you have the premium stash tab. That's it. The reason why I don't suggest buying the map stash tab early is because once every like 2 weeks GDG does make a sale on stash tabs, so you could get it a little bit cheaper. Yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you could learn a little bit about stash tabs and I could help you deciding what stash tabs to get early. Please make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I read all my comments. So yeah, and let's see each other in the next video, guys. Take care.